Hi, my name is Jeremy Holmes, and today I'm going to talk about my Week 6 ethical news story in my strategic management class at American Military University. Uh, Today I'm going to talk about the Volkswagen scandal. This scandal came to light in October of 2015 when California had some scientists and researchers from the University of West Virginia University conduct studies on the emissions of the new Volkswagen. What they found out in this study is that the Volkswagen was not actually performing as well as they uh, said it would. Volkswagen created a defeat device, is what they were calling it, of where it could defeat the Environmental Protection Agency's emission standards. They developed software where the vehicle would change its performance while being in a testing mode and show lower levels of emissions for the vehicle. How this system worked is it would have in a normal diesel engine they have a nitrogen oxide trap that would allow allow the engine to burn more fuel to be able to burn off the nitrogen oxide. While this system that Volkswagen produced would only turn that system on while it was being tested. They would know it was being tested by being, certain RPM, steering wheel in a certain position, and not driven in a certain manner. And this would allow more emissions, less fuel to be burned to burn those emissions, and allow more emissions to escape the vehicle. Uh, from the studies shown, the 2011 to 2012, it was as high as 38 times going through a rural environment, going up and down hill, or even 20 times in urban Los Angeles of a higher rate of nitrogen oxide. This also allowed the vehicle producer of Volkswagen to advertise that they were getting higher rates of fuel because they were not following the EPA standards on their emissions. One of the things that probably could have led up to this issue is the CEO for the time, Martin Winterkorn from Volkswagen, in 2011 advertised or pushed their strategic vision to be the number one car sales in the United States. They were trailing behind Toyota at the time. Volkswagen in 2011 also opened up their Chattanooga plant where they were going to produce cars within the United States to help affect their cost in producing these vehicles in the United States. Uh, Here's an example of their advertisement that they used for their TDI, their turbo diesel injection, which is supposed to be a cleaner running system, but was not.
Road trip, buddy. Let's put some music on.
Welcome to Learning Spanish in the Car.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is good.
Vámonos.
Vámonos.
Gracias.
Gracias.
13 horas en el carro sin parar y no traes música. Mira, entra y cómprame unas papitas.
Get up to 795 miles per tank in the all-new Volkswagen Passat TDI Clean Diesel.
So that advertisement showed how they were getting so many miles per gallon for their Passat TDI. The results of this scandal, the CEO Martin Winterkorn resigned. Volkswagen saw the first time their decline in their stock value over an 18-year period. They also have to now fix this problem that they have created. They think right now it's going to be over $6 billion. But also a larger issue that Volkswagen faces is the potential lawsuits. One is from the governments of these countries that set standards that the Volkswagen Corporation has willfully did not follow and try to cheat the system. So they have potential lawsuits from those governments. They also have potential lawsuits from their customers that have been lied to about their fuel economy and the emission standards of the vehicle that they have purchased. And so the true question is, will Volkswagen be able to survive? They already feel that it's going to cost, like I said, $6 billion to do a recall and get their vehicles back into the emission standards required by those countries that they operate in, which truly affects right now a large amount, but United Kingdom, Germany itself, France, and mostly the United States. So the true question is will this company be able to survive this scandal that they are facing right now, due to the ethical standards that was given by their company? Their previous CEO of Volkswagen in 2008 was interviewed about a corporate scandal about using Volkswagen money or funds to hire prostitutes, and he called that just irregularities. Um, this showed that corporate culture in Volkswagen probably has some issues in understanding how they fit in the world and how they are going to continue to operate. And now with this scandal, trying to cheat the system of the Environmental Protection Agency of the United States and other countries also will cause problems. But I would think, many corporations have had scandals within their past, and an example of how to handle a scandal or a crisis is what Johnson Johnson did with Tylenol in 1982. Um, an individual took Tylenol off the shelf, contaminated that Tylenol with cyanide, and put it back on the shelf. There was a total of 7 people that were killed from this incident of Tylenol contamination. What Tylenol, they made a decision at that point to pull all Tylenol off of the shelf and off of from the whole marketplace to be able to reinvent themselves or this Tylenol product. And truly what they did is they came back and developed tamper resistant packaging to show that they are committed to having a high quality medicine available for every individual, and to show that it hasn't been tampered with, because that's exactly what happened with them in the early 80s. But the CEO at the time felt that the only way they were able to survive this crisis is depending on their credo that the president and the founder of Johnson & Johnson developed back in 1949. And their credo is on the bottom: we believe our first responsibility is to the doctors, nurses, patients, and to the mothers and fathers of all that use their product. And so with that credo, it developed their standard of their corporation and how they're going to handle that crisis. And Johnson & Johnson is doing very well right now, and truly to this day has set the standard on how to manage crises. The question is, will Volkswagen be able to have this type of leadership to come back and bounce back from this crisis of cheating the consumers and also cheating the governments in which they operate in their environmental and their contamination of the environment and how they sold their product. Only time will tell if Volkswagen will be able to do it. They're going to need strong leadership, a strong strategic vision to be able to do that. I thank you for your time today, and that concludes my PowerPoint or my news scandal brief.